The Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast is a roundtable conversational podcast that gives a voice to the Black experience.
Millennials from New York City sharing our views on Black lifestyle, culture, relationships, religion, and current events.
Here at SR, we strive to give our listeners the real in a world of fake.
Worldly professionals with class that also know how to switch it up.
Now let's talk our wild shit.
Yo!
Yeah.
Yo, Flash, you gotta turn down the applause. I didn't hear TJ's "We live." I
don't think she said it. Did she say it?
She did the hand gestures and shit, so I couldn't really tell. There we go. Now we can start the episode.
Okay.
Come on, bro.
Okay.
How she missed that?
I don't know. She had a shit muted. It's all good though. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast. This is your boy Mash, aka the Spew Guy Drip Drip. Please say the drip drip. Representing the tribe, gang. Appreciate you. And we're gonna move this along quickly as possible. We're gonna start with my right. There we go. We're gonna bring it to my girl who's from the BX representative, the Ice Queen. Talk your shit, Queen.
Frigid shit.
What up, tribe? This is your girl TJ, the Unicorn Gemini. And I bring duality to the podcast, and I'm also known as the Ice Queen because I keep these niggas in check.
Oh.
That's a fact. All right, we're gonna swing it down right to my man, the philosopher, Flash the philosopher.
Don't do it, me. No. How would you put me in the second slot? Oh my gosh.
It felt right.
It's okay because I am here. It is me. Today I am the man with the proclivity for peace. It is your boy, Flash the philosopher. It is he. It is me. It is I. What up?
Okay. And we gonna
your bed though.
We gonna
skip.
What'd
you call me?
Why you didn't make up your bed?
Yo, mind your business, nigga. Go
crazy rough in the bed.
Back there, mad rough.
Could have made up the bed real quick.
Look, it ain't my bed, nigga.
That don't mean you couldn't have made it up. Like,
it's called.
All right. Moving right along to
put the
everybody
over it or something.
Moving right along to everybody's favorite number 3. I bring to you the Clarity Queen. Everybody, put your fucking X's up.
Oh gosh.
For my bestie that was on her shit.
Yo, what's good? It's your girl Mo. Always represent Co-op City Section 5. Don't ever zone my shit. We already know what it is. Hey, tribe.
Never.
Hey, bestie.
Hey, bestie. What's good?
And last but not least, we're gonna bring it over to everybody's favorite. You know what it is. Talk your shit, King.
Yeah, what it do? Yo, I think your thing must be broke, bro. Your thing must be broke because I don't understand why I always get the booze. All right. Anyhow.
I know why.
Asshole.
We all know why.
It's your boy Shake, Mr. HSD, Mr. AFF. I'm here, baby. Let's have a good episode.
What's that for today, sir?
The F is for folk.
Okay. Good folk. We got good folk in the building.
With that. Okay.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. So before we move into our next portion of the show, I want to start with giving TJ 30 seconds.
Yo, Spew Guy, did you introduce yourself yet?
Introduce yourself, Spew.
Oh, I started with the intro.
Drip.
I mean, but it's hey, look. My name Mash. I'm from South Jamaica, Queens. You know, only Queens make kings. You know what I mean? Representing the Spew. Spew is an abbreviation for spreading positive energy, whatever. And as the ambassador of the Spew, it's my job to enrich the lives of everybody I meet. I love y'all, tribe. I'm excited to record another episode. My nigga ganging it.
I'm trying to say drip again.
Ganging it. I appreciate it. I take it. I love y'all. Let's get it. So TJ, you got 30 seconds.
Do your job.
All right, guys, you tuned in to another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet. Thank you for coming and supporting us and supporting you and your peoples because you are the tribe. Go ahead and hit the like button right now, the follow button right now, the subscribe button right now, and share us with a friend. We are on everywhere you hear podcasts. We drop new episodes every Wednesday. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon has podcasts, and you can follow us on IG IG. We are at So Ratchet Podcast on IG, So Ratchet Podcast on TikTok, So Ratchet Pod on Twitter, and right here on YouTube, where you can see our beautiful faces and handsome faces. We're So Ratchet Podcast. Go ahead and like us and share us with a friend.
That's good. That's good.
TJ,
you be rehearsing that or something?
She does. She has to.
Like I can see her in the mirror doing that.
I say it every damn week, so that's how I can get it. And sometimes I fuck it up, and I say it every damn week.
No, you do good.
It's that tic tac. It's that tic tac. That tic tac. You know. You be wanting the bloopers. You got all the bloopers. We gonna get it. We gonna get it to you. All right.
It's okay.
Don't even trip, TJ, because you know at the end of the day, no matter what, it's not gonna be no bad days whenever you do whatever you got.
Yeah, I mean,
it's never gonna be bad days.
How you intro me?
I got you.
That was cute. That was cute.
That was cute.
Because I'm saying it was gonna be a great ass day. I won't accept nothing else.
We won't.
Nothing bad will enter my day.
Ever.
Say that shit like you mean it. Howl it. No bad days.
No bad days today. Oh my gosh, I'm really in love with this chakra. Can you guess what chakra I'm going to be working on today?
I mean, you did say love.
Yeah, I did say love. It's the opposite of what we're going to be talking about today. So I wanted to make sure I just triggered your heart chakra today. You know what I mean? So anytime you're feeling wrath or angry, you trigger your heart chakra. Okay? So the heart chakra serves as our center of love for oneself and for others, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness. That's important. It's also known as the Anahata chakra. And I've never done this before, but I found some affirmations for you guys. So if you're ever feeling wrathful or angry, right, I want you to trigger your heart chakra so you can step back into yourself and step back into your heart. And some affirmations that I found are, it's only 5 of them. So it's, my heart is open to give and receive love. Number 2 is, I feel compassion for myself and others. Number 3 is, I am a conduit of love and peace.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Number 4 is, I am full of gratitude for my ability to love.
Yes.
And then the last one is, my heart is full of unconditional love for all beings.
That's the one.
Okay.
Feeling like a Care Bear right now. Okay.
You guys are ready to align this heart chakra, make sure that it's unblocked.
DJ.
We can say these affirmations at any time, guys. Anytime you're feeling it. All right, guys. So like we always do, eyes open if you're driving.
Please.
Eyes closed if you really want to feel this feeling. And yeah, but either way, eyes open or closed. Let's take a nice deep breath in and out.
Still going.
Okay, it's on autopilot.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Heart chakra's open. Remind yourself of that heart chakra when y'all get into the shit y'all going to hear in a few minutes and whatever triggers you in this episode.
Facts.
Thank you, TJ. Okay. All right.
Looking like you having a daggone.
Sorry.
Losing it over there.
No bad days.
Yeah,
no bad days.
That's the kind of crazy I love right there, girl. That's the kind of crazy I love.
I know you do. Fuck boys like crazy shit.
All right, so now moving right along to our next portion of the show for everybody's favorite educational segment, we bring to you Shakes Word of the Week. Word of the Week.
Hey.
I thank you guys for doing my
that was it.
Me, I like
that. Facts, TJ. That's it. That is your intro, nigga. That's it.
We're gonna record this or something. We're gonna record this.
We don't work.
We do it every episode, bro. What do you mean?
It's acapella, nigga. You don't get no better than that.
You got a whole marching.
Dance moves, you know?
This nigga is mad ungrateful. He gets a new song every fucking week. We sing this nigga a new song.
Word. We
dedicated
basically background dancers, and you out here complaining and shit that you don't got a good enough song.
You know what? Sometimes the energy level just be a little low and shit. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to get y'all low. Today is pretty good. I ain't gonna lie.
So we can record it. We gonna record
First
it.
of all, First of all, nigga,
heartbeats. I know how to sing.
You rarely get the title of the shit right, okay? It's Shake's word of the week. You just started getting the title right. Just started it.
He used to be like Shake's word of the day.
How many episodes?
Now this nigga a diva and want fucking songs and shit.
I need intros.
Because he heard my intro. He jealous. It's okay.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
TJ gets one. I don't get one. My segment been around longer. Goddamn it.
No, I've been doing this. We just wasn't recording it.
You right.
Shake. What's the word of the week, King? What's the
whatever. You know what?
That's the word. Whatever.
The word of the week is interminable. Okay, and I'm not gonna argue about my intro because it seems like I'm gonna be getting this acapella and this acapella intro interminably. Okay, let's just say that it's not in the budget.
You didn't use the word because you put elite at the end, but okay.
Well, it seems interminably is the same word. God damn it!
Thank you, TJ.
Interminable.
Are you going to tell the people what the word means, sir?
It means endless. I said it really quickly. Okay, so they didn't really. I don't know if they got it, but guys, it means endless, right? So you can use it like when you're at work and you're watching a clock and you're like, "Dang, I've been watching this clock for the last 3 hours. This thing seems like this day is interminable." So that's how you can use it, okay?
Perfect.
Your intro seems interminable, nigga.
All right.
All right, 1 point. 1 point on the board.
Let's jump into
it. All right. Okay, family. So today we're talking about the 7 deadly sins. For those if you're not familiar, go back and listen to our previous episode. We decided to showcase this because my man Flash feels very strongly about the 7 deadly sins for his own reasons, but I particularly love the 7 deadly sins for my own. Yeah, he loves it. I
sure do.
For those who don't know, I'm a big anime enthusiast, and one of my favorite animes of all time is Full Metal Alchemist. And one of the main premises of this show was for this character to purge himself of the 7 deadly sins so he could be the perfect being. And I thought the premise behind that was pretty fire because that's how you reach perfection, when you remove those 7 deadly sins. And those sins in this anime turn into physical embodiments of those feelings, right? And my favorite character on this anime was Wrath. All right. Wrath was the realest character in this anime because he was the definition of what wrath and fury looks like. All right. So for those who don't know, wrath can be defined at, let me put it on the board because, that's important. Wrath can be defined as uncontrollable feelings of anger, rage, and hatred. Wrath often reveals itself in the wishes to seek vengeance. All right. Now, this particular character, throughout the entire show, you think he's just a little dude, like he just lightweight. But he comes through and he takes care of an entire army, like by himself on some G shit with a sword and a grenade. Most wrathful shit I've seen on the anime, but that's neither here nor there. I want to talk to you guys about wrath. So the first question that I have to you all is describe a situation when you thought or considered something wrathful. Now, I just gave you guys one example. So this character, he was what he was. Can you give me an example or describe a situation where you thought or considered something to be wrathful?
Like something that we wanted to do, or are you just saying in general?
In general, just in general. I can give you another example if you want.
Give me another example.
All right. So in order for me to remember a wrathful experience, I had to look back at my photos. And I look back to about 4 years ago when I was out protesting for all the loss of Black life. I felt very, very wrathful when that occurred. And I felt the only way for me to put that energy to use was to go protest, was to go be active, to be involved. That's an example of when I felt wrathful, or a situation where wrath was there because there was no way I could express myself. And I felt really, really upset and angry. So I went to go protest. That's an example of wrathfulness for me. So I put it back to the tribe. What's an example for y'all of when you felt or considered something to be wrathful?
Okay, so I have a couple of things that I felt wrath about. I'll give two, and then I'll give an example of myself. I felt wrathful, obviously for 9/11 and being back then, and during that whole situation, really, really upset that happened. And I also felt wrathful with George Floyd and all of the incidents that happened in regards to Black Lives Matters when they stormed the Capitol. We did an episode about that, and I think you guys can tell my anger through the episode because I was very wrathful at that point. And my last example, which regards to me, is which I don't recommend for anybody, but when I was going through a breakup and I showed up at Shorty's job ready to light her fire, but she just happened not to be at work that day. So in hindsight, I'm glad she wasn't at work that day because that could have jeopardized me and my life, in my livelihood. But I was very wrathful and at the moment wasn't thinking clearly. So,
Copy that.
Yo, you know why this is like really difficult for me? And I basically gave the definition of wrath because I thought wrath meant like vengeance. Wrath meant like me trying to get back at somebody for something they did, but that's not what it is. It's actually extreme anger. And it's difficult for me because I don't hold on to anger. Like I try not to remember shit that I get mad about. Like people get me upset and I don't hold on to it. I let it go. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Tell me the last time it came to you though.
But I'm gonna tell you what really gets my goat. What really gets my goat is when people insult my intelligence. When people who do things they do things because they think that you're not gonna figure it out. Like
they think you're stupid. They think you're stupid.
Yeah. And that shit makes me wrathful. But do I hold on to it? Do I hold on to it? Not really. That's why I can't really give you guys instance of it because I know you guys want to ask, like, when was the last time this happened? Because y'all.
But can you describe what you look like, what you do when you're in like?
When I'm angry, when I'm in that
what does that look like for you?
Oh man, yo, you know what? The only people that can really get me like that, like, as a matter of fact, it's not only when you insult my intelligence, but my women can get me like that. Like if women that know me really well, most women can't. They try and shit. They say shit like, oh yeah, oh that's why da da da. They'll say things that are supposed to hurt my feelings, and I'm like, okay, so good. But
Shake. I remember specifically when the only time I ever seen you get mad. I seen you get mad one time that I can recall. And go ahead.
No. As a matter of fact, let me go back. Let's go back to Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that shit. So we was in a car, right? And we driving and shit, right? We tried into a party. And my boy and shit, one of the boys who and nobody wanted him to come along because they knew how he get. And I argued for this nigga to bring him along. That's not even the first time I've done that. I've argued that he should come. But he's in the car. Now he's driving. He's driving a rental car that I rented, by the way. Right? We don't know which way the party is. And he's heading north on the 95. He's heading up north towards, we're in Miami. So he's headed towards Fort Lauderdale. And no, we're headed towards Fort Lauderdale. Right? I'm sitting here like, all right, I finally figured out where the party was. I went through all kinds of messages, figured out where it was. We're going the wrong direction. So I tell the guy, I'm like, yo, bro, we're going the wrong direction. I need you to get up to the next exit. Passes the exit, right? yo, son, maybe you didn't hear me, but we're going the wrong direction, bro. We need to turn around and go back, right? This nigga passed another exit. It's like, the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Yo, when I tell you I went off on this nigga, like, nigga, do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I don't know which way to go? You think I'm just telling you some dumb shit? Matter of fact, I'll pull over. Get up. Get the fuck up. I seriously never got like that. But he has bitch tendencies. And when I say I get like that with my bitches, when you got bitch tendencies,
Oh my gosh.
That shit pisses me off, bro.
That was by far one of the only times I think I've ever seen you upset, and that would be the extent of your wrathfulness in my world. I haven't seen you go past that.
Nah, but have you ever been in a car with a female and they get mad at you and they turn the music up or turn the music down or do some shit that just piss you off, bro? Like they do that shit. That's how I felt like being in a car with this nigga right there. I don't know what he was mad at me about, but he didn't want to hear nothing I said. But either way. That was an event when I was wrathful. Well, I was wrathful.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably speak on one for me. And I'm generally like a calm nigga for the most part. I usually don't let shit get to me, even if people, especially like a lot of external factors. I feel like I kind of, I know how to keep certain peace within myself. And even, and when I see stuff like George Floyd, those stuff don't get me angry. I'm saddened by those things, but for some reason it's like I can't reach for like anger first to solve that problem, because then I'm never going to be able to, I guess, like approach it the way I want. But at the same time, I also know like wrath for me sometimes comes out the blue, because I know I'm so a lot of the times calm, and I'm trying to always maintain like peace within myself for the most part. When things happen that are out of my control, especially if somebody like hits me or something like that, maybe it's not something that I'm expecting, I feel like those things kind of can bring like wrath out of me. And I say that to say like maybe there was this one incident that I understood that I was super upset, and we was in Miami, and niggas was drunk, we joking, joshing, and niggas is out on the balcony, and we crack jokes. Like I crack a lot of jokes. I love cracking jokes. I used to do yo mama jokes, like niggas didn't give a fuck about feelings and shit like that. And I don't know what the fuck we was joking about outside, but I remember a dude who I wasn't like fully familiar with, we was joking. I'm sitting here like, okay, we joking, and the nigga smacked me or some shit out the blue or whatever. He was telling the joke, nigga smacked me, and I was just like, this nigga don't know me. Like this nigga don't know me enough to lay hands, on my face even, or whatever the case is. I don't even know what the fuck we was joking about, but for whatever reason, it was like I wasn't joking no more. I didn't want to fight the nigga or nothing like that. But what I did find myself thinking in my head is, I want to throw this nigga off of the balcony right now. Like real shit. Like I wanted to grab the nigga and throw the nigga off the balcony.
Chose violence.
I did choose violence, and that's the thing. Though, I don't think it was necessarily like the first choice that I did want to make, but at the moment, because of it wasn't even like an embarrassing situation. Like the smack in front of people wasn't something that I was just like, oh, this nigga just embarrassed me. It was just the fact that, nigga, why would you ever deem it necessary to lay your hands on my face? And I don't even know you. Like I'm just meeting you on this trip, my nigga, and you a cool dude. And I just felt like it brought me to like think of the possibilities that I can end this situation. And one of them was like, yeah, let me just throw the nigga over the balcony. It's nothing, it's only three stories. My other boys who were in the area, they understood like how angry I was, or how angry they saw me getting, because I was not thinking straight. In my mind, this is the only solution to this. This nigga has to fly, and they were, fortunate enough I had people in my corner that was like, I don't see this nigga like this often, so let me, kind of diffuse the situation and, pull me to the side and talk me out of that place of anger that they see me from. Because anybody who knows me knows that I'm usually just going to be, calm and collective a lot of the time. So when you see me like that, that is a sign for trouble. And, so yeah, that's like one incident I can actually remember.
Okay.
I'm happy you shared that. I agree with Shake. I think I feel like I'm a Gemini. So, there's two sides to me at all times. So sometimes I'm happy, and then when I get angry, it's like really angry, and anybody can fucking get it. But I can say that, like, I really feel like my most wrathful experience was with my partners or my father. And the way that it triggers for me is the minute I get sad, that shit turns to anger real quick. It's like a snap of the finger. You piss me off. You did something to make me sad. You hurt me. You hurt my feelings. It's a wrap. I am like the Tasmanian devil. I am interminable. Okay. I am going ape shit on that ass, and you cannot stop me. And I think it's also a little bit of a Napoleon complex because I'm tiny. You know what I mean? She ain't gonna do nothing. She ain't gonna do nothing. So I'm the first one to slap a motherfucker. I really am. And I really hate that about myself. And I don't like it when I'm wrathful. I get to really check in with my heart chakra and like chill that energy the hell out. And what I do is I think of, how am I accountable in this moment? You know what I mean? Like, how do I make myself accountable to every situation? Because I don't like it when I'm like that. I am nervous for other people, and I'm nervous for myself because I'm gonna be the first one in your face. Yeah. And that's it. I'm not gonna.
It's always the little ones. It's always the little ones.
It is, and I think that's exactly it, because I feel like people play you so much. You know what I mean? Like, because you tiny, you ain't gonna do shit. You're so tiny, and I'm like, okay, fine, you know, and I have to turn up.
So you bomb first.
I'm gonna hit you first for sure.
Yeah, as you should. As you should. One. When you little, you got to strike first, because you know.
Do we?
Yeah, once niggas grab y'all, it's a wrap for y'all. So you got to stuff them first.
Yeah, and I got strength, so.
Yeah, TJ, I definitely remember like editing one of the one episode, and you was like, yeah, you know, I used to just put my foot in this nigga car and XYZ, you know. And I'm sitting here like, yo, damn, but she's the one that be doing our peace bowls and shit. Like, how did we get here?
I know. That's how I got here. That's exactly how I got here.
Yeah.
I like. A line in my chakra has really saved my life. Being accountable for everything, all the self-help work that I've been doing has really helped me. And I know where it stems from. It stems from my trauma. You know, I grew up in a house of, you know, domestic violence, and, you know, that anger was always bottled up, and I saw how it was, you know, exercised, and I chose that path, you know, so it doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve me. I digress.
I got one more, but I'm gonna let y'all go first because I got another wrathful experience. But go ahead, please.
Okay. But I think we're done. Everybody went.
Everybody went. Go ahead.
Yeah, we all went already.
Go again, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so I will say this. So I was never a nigga that just like had, you know, guns or access to guns and shit back in the days. But one thing I always understood about myself, especially when I was younger, is I was very protective of my family. I feel like my family, you know, they're nice people for the most part. My family ain't screaming, talking to nobody crazy or whatnot. And, you know, we Jamaican and shit, but my family was real peaceful. My mom is so peaceful. My pops is very peaceful. You know what I'm saying? They don't want no beef with nobody, even my brother. And I will say, like, those things sometimes trigger me because I hold a place to protect my family, or I hold some energy to be able to protect my family in case shit ever goes left. And what, you know, so even though I didn't have access to guns, I do remember like my brother coming from school, you know, one day, and I'm not gonna say like I was the nicest brother sometimes, because I was one of the people that feel like only I could, you know, mess with my brother or anybody in my family. I'm the only one that could do that shit. And I remember him telling me, or coming home and telling me like, yo, somebody was bullying him, like, or my mom heard it, and I was sitting, and my mom was like, no, just tell the teacher. And I found myself like wrath mode, and I'm a few years older than my brother, so for some reason I stepped into like big brother mode. And you know, I was sitting here like, oh, they fucking with you at school. So he pretty much was telling me like, yeah, they was beating him up like only on the way out. And I just remember like, you know, I went to the toolbox and I grabbed a hammer, like a real hammer, because
I was gonna say, like, you got a gun at that age?
No, but I felt like I was the Black Thor, because I'm sitting here like, number one, I'm gonna go in with this hammer and I'm gonna knock niggas out, like, because I'm not trying to fight you, because number one, my brother doesn't deserve to be treated like this, and number two, like, this is my room for protection. So yeah, I drove down to the school. I waited for an hour for this nigga class to get out, or for school to get out, and I saw myself, I was just sitting there just twirling the hammer. I was sitting there waiting for him to walk down the steps. He didn't even know I was watching him, but waiting for him to walk down the steps. And I wish a nigga would. I wished a nigga would, because I was gonna pop out the car and start swinging the hammer on niggas' heads. And I understand, like, that was a moment of wrath for me. Like, I was prepared to just swing this shit, and because look, I'm a win.
I agree.
My family, I'm a win.
I got questions.
No,
I got questions.
not really.
I got questions.
No, you don't think I'm a win.
Consequences to everything.
I got questions.
There is
I
consequences.
got questions.
What do you call a
Great,
win?
man.
Peep game.
What?
It's not about, and this is the thing.
Hold
We know about the consequences, but I got to speak truth until a time
You
where I
wasn't
felt
thinking
like
about
it was
that.
bad
Yeah.
for me, right? So I'm not
Yeah,
thinking about the
exactly.
consequences. In my mind, I'm coming out there winning, regardless
I-
of how everybody else feels.
Pick me.
That's why. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
You the
Go ahead.
moderator.
How old was you, my nigga? You was gonna be how old was you?
So my brother was probably in junior high school. So I probably had to be
Junior high
maybe
school.
19 or 20.
on.
So you was in college.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Sweet.
Yeah.
Flash, I do get you, because I recall a time that I was in the supermarket with my mother and I stepped away for a second,
remember
and
this, Mom.
somebody, and I'm telling you, in that moment, I don't care if I would have got arrested, because that's my mother. You understand? And I can't. I just wanted to know who the person thought they was talking to. They must have thought my mother was by herself. But when I came back, all I saw was black, and I went the fuck off. I was like, who the fuck you think that's my mother?
Mhm.
You're not going to talk to my mother. I'm here though. So if you want to do something, we could get it. Let's go. But you're not going to talk to my mother. You're not going to skip my mother. You're not going to push my mother. That's my mother. Period. I was on that type of level in the supermarket, and I didn't care at that moment. All I saw was somebody disrespecting my mother. I didn't give a fuck who you were. You wasn't going to do it to mine. And that's just how I felt in the moment. So I get where Flash is talking about, especially when it comes to family. When it comes to family, oh no. I don't care what the situation is. I'm on beast mode at that point in time.
Got you.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah,
I think family does that to us. I think I think Flash, you touched on something really key. You was like, you felt it's important for you to protect him. Right. And I feel like when there's people that's important to you in your life, that's when that kicks in. Like, I will bust your shit wide open if you fucking think you're gonna do something because you know the thing that you're protecting. You know the people. You know, like, they're good people. Like, they are good people. Like, these people are good people. And how fucking dare you try to harm a good person that I know?
Correct. Exactly.
You know, you're trying to harm a good person that I know. How fucking dare you? Hearing your story reminded me of an instance that I recall when I was in the hood, South Jamaica. I was in my man C-Roy, and C-Roy Pops owned the 99-cent store in the hood off of South Road. And he got into some shit with some niggas in the neighborhood. Now, C-Roy family is hood, just like my family's hood, but his family is gang affiliated, right? So when the shit popped off, his cousin came, his uncle came, which is his father's brother, his little brother. He pulled up to the spot because it was niggas there. He came through. He came into the store. He came to talk to us. This nigga had a grenade. Okay. You hear me? This nigga had a
military
grenade, like a real grenade,
not a drink.
USA issued.
He was gonna tear this whole shit down. I thought to myself, that's wrathful. That's a wrathful ass nigga. To know that I would toss a grenade into a city street for you, my nigga. I would toss a grenade into a city street for you, nigga, just to let you know that I will not have nobody harm you, bro. Like, just because I love you that much, I would not allow anybody to hurt you like that. That shit was the most wrathful shit I've ever saw.
Wow.
It didn't come to that. But he was ready. This nigga pulled up with it, ready.
He was prepared.
Look, he was gonna hurt the person he was trying to protect with the grenade.
He was gonna fuck that whole shit up.
His own hand off.
I know. Oh my god, that shit crazy.
Yeah. Sorry. So that's So those are examples of situations where we all, could think of wrath, right?
Absolutely.
Well, we also talked about what triggers you, so I'm gonna skip past that question. Here's a good one. What are some ways to release anger? Right. So we all have moments when we're hot, when we're angry, when we're feeling really upset. What do you do personally in order to release those feelings? TJ, you first. You got your finger up.
Yeah. So definitely speaking to my bestie Like, you are my human diary. I love you, bestie.
I love you.
You allow me to like just vent, and then hearing myself, and then I can kind of come to my senses. Like, okay, I get to release this now. I spoke it out. I get to release it. Another thing is praying. Another thing is seeking guidance, like speaking with a therapist. Like, I blacked on my ex-husband. Like our last shit, like our last fight. I blacked on that man. And I remember the pastor telling me when we went through couples counseling, he was like, how could you have handled that differently? And I feel like that allowed me to kind of release my anger. And I literally had to sit with myself and think of ways that I could have handled that differently without getting to that anger. You know what I'm saying? And I try that now, So and let me share that with the tribe in case you guys are interested in releasing anger sometimes. Because usually when you're angry, you respond or you react, right? And so you want to respond, not react. And so instead of, reacting, you can tell the person exactly how they made you feel. And when you actually try to do that, it's really hard to be angry. Or hold the hand of your partner when you're sharing exactly what you're experiencing. Like, it's so hard. Like, your anger is gone immediately. Like, because it just can't flow in that circle. I don't know if you guys try it and let me know if your anger is
I don't know. It depends on how angry I am. Because if I'm real angry, I won't hold your fucking hand. If
well, there
I'm
you
really,
go.
really
But if you
angry,
want to release the
I don't want
anger,
to hold your fucking hand.
you know you're angry and you're like, let me release this. I have to hold your hand. And it's hard because you're going to be like, and I've tried it. And I'm like talking, talk with your hands and your hand, his hands and your hands is like, try it.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
that. You gonna go Flash or I could go?
No, I'm just saying I'm not holding nobody hand if I'm fucking angry and shit. We gonna look. We got to talk it
So
out
you want
before
to
I
be
could.
angry? You choosing to
No,
be
no,
angry?
no, no, no,
That's what
no.
that means.
I choose to communicate how to express, what I'm going through in a way that's healthy before I think I want you in my physical space, because I don't want to be fake about like holding you with like love or with that intention of love if I'm conflicted with how I'm feeling about you. So this is why I just rather let's figure out what we need to communicate to each other, get whatever it is off our chest, and then let me hold you and love you like the way I'm supposed to. Because I can't do like fake embraces and fake hugs, of that closeness and feel good about it if I know like I'm in a space, a bad space with
I
you.
encourage you to try it. I encourage you to try it because it will release the anger a little bit. Just try it. And I encourage you.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess, I just want to communicate first, but I get you though.
Yeah, I was gonna say ways for me to dissolve feeling wrathful, I should say, is in the moment. Now I learn in the moment, sometimes you just need to take a deep breath. When I'm telling you, when you take a deep breath, it centers you beyond ways you would believe. Just closing your eyes and taking a breath and just getting yourself here.
Right.
That works. I'm definitely talking to my best friend because I may have a blackout moment on the phone with her, and I just released it right then and there. So now I could go back in my right set of mind and have a conversation. Another way for me is working out, feeling angry, putting that anger, putting that anger into the gym. And then once I'm done with the gym, it's like I released everything. I feel so refreshed and good. Like, oh my God, like that was amazing. I done let everything out. Now I can focus because I left that at the gym. So those are ways for me. And also sometimes for some people, like writing down in that moment, how you feeling.
What about sex?
Sex helps for me.
Because I can't really say that because if I'm mad at you in the moment, I don't want to have sex with you. No, I'm angry.
What if you just mad in general though? What if you just mad? What if you just was mad over some next shit? Maybe it wasn't your partner.
If it's not with my part,
maybe you just needed some dick.
No, I want you to kind of like help me.
Yeah, I want you to help me with. Yeah, I'm too. If I'm upset, I can't even focus on having sex because I'm still in my feelings, whether it has to do with you or not. But if me and my partner's talking and then we reside like, babe, well, maybe you should do this or don't think about it, then I might, now I'm like, oh, because now you have settled me in my wrathfulness, So then yes, but initially, I'm being honest, I don't think so. Because I'm still angry. Once I'm calmed down, then
Yo, when I think of wrath, I think of rage. You know what I'm saying? I think of people who just losing it. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get like that. But and I'm gonna be honest with you, like I said earlier,
you do.
Like
I've seen it. It's not often.
I recall
it too, Mo. You remember it?
Yeah, I remember that, but I'm not. Yeah,
all the way.
Maybe my memory of it is different from y'all's, but I don't feel like I get like that. Okay, but maybe I do get a little.
I'll
loud.
share after this episode to refresh your memory.
Not read.
No, I remember me and Mo called each other. We were like,
"Yeah,
you heard Shake? We ain't never heard Shake like that before, ever."
Just because I lose my patience.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
No.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
So wait. Just because I lose my patience with you and I get a little upset, I'm not rageful. I'm not.
Well, to you, but that's how. What I'm trying to
experience.
I'm trying to express to you. That's what we felt on our end.
Yeah, that's what
right. So in your mind, you felt, oh, I'm just no. You were raging. Yeah, you were raging.
Like it.
You were raging.
So if we're all talking about the same moment, I would agree. I concur. You were very
wrathful.
You were very wrathful. Okay.
So anyhow, like I said, I don't like to hold on to rage. So it's really easy for me to let go. I really don't have a routine for it. Like if somebody gets me mad, I walk away from the situation. That's what I try to do at most points, unless I can't walk away because I'm stuck there, and that's the worst. Is when you stuck with somebody you fucking hate, you're upset with, and you can't deal with the person, huh?
Who was the last customer that made you mad,
bro? This one customer, the last nigga that Brownsville that told me. The last guy in Brownsville that told he's gonna beat my ass in the street.
I think I remember that.
And I was doing some shit like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna be outside in a few minutes. I'm going lunch in a minute. I'm walking that way. and the whole building is like, no!
You know what's wild?
Yo, I was so pissed off.
He must have not looked like Tyson and no other shit. Like he had to look beatable. Because in my mind, depending on how the nigga look, it might determine how I'm gonna talk to you. Because if you got a muscle on a muscle, nigga, I'll be like.
And you know what I want?
If he had a what?
You know what I wanted to? You know what I wanted to add is nothing. It's nothing.
A muscle on a muscle.
Right. And I want to add, especially when you're dealing with a client or you're at work and you're angry, it's when I tell you in those moments it'd be the hardest to control yourself. Because and sometimes I catch myself. I'll never forget, it was a client one time when we talking and her hands just kept frailing. I could say it now because I grabbed the lady's hand. Like I grabbed her by her wrist and I put her hands down. I said, I don't do well with hands. I don't do well. But after I did it, I'm like, I'm at work.
I just put my hands on her.
I put my hand on right. But her hand, like we're face to face, and her hands was like here. And I just and I felt like if I didn't grab her hands, it would have went left.
Got you.
I had to put it down. And everybody she was coming to have a visit, and they wanted to cancel the visit because the security was like, Mo, say the word, her visit's over. You know, because she was. But once that seemed to center her too, because I said, listen.
Oh, you touched her? Yeah.
I put her hand down. I said, I don't do well with hands. I said, I'm trying to allow you to do this, but what I really could do is end it right here. You choose what you want to do. I'm going to ask you to sit down, right? That's what I'm going to ask you to do. And then she did that, and that kind of calmed it. But the hand friend, like I had to, like after I did it, I realized I had to look around like, oh shit, how that work? But you have to bring yourself down.
I don't know why in my mind I feel like Mo ended it when she grabbed her hand. She grabbed it in the X and shit.
That's what you expect. Yeah, that's what you envision. Anytime Mo does something, she does it in the X.
Can't get through this.
It was on my shit, bitch.
And I grabbed both her, and it was very lightly, but I grabbed both her wrists because she's in front of me. And
this shit was not lightly. Get the fuck out of here. Talk about it was very lightly.
It was.
That's what you put it. That's what you put in your report. But that shit ain't what happened in real life.
She was bigger than me. She was taller than me. So I had to like bring her hand down, like calm down. Relax.
Mo put that bitch in a Bronx grip. She was like, okay, all right, I can relax. I can relax. Yo, one thing I will say though, I was thinking on this. I think being a cable man actually made me understand how to be more patient, which helped me to manage my anger better. Yes. And the reason why I say that is because, like, I used to go into a lot of people's cribs, like a lot of people's houses or whatnot. And usually when you're troubleshooting or when you're dealing with people's problems that they have at the moment, especially when it's TV, people want to watch their TV and shit. And you don't understand like how angry it used to make people when their TV wasn't working and shit.
And they spending $300 for cable.
That's true.
All of that shit.
I concur. I'm be upset.
Let me tell you something, yo. We used to work like we used to work in like certain housing buildings, and you used to have like the cable connections on the side of the building, and sometimes you had to go and you had to pop somebody joint out. And the worst shit would be when you pop somebody joint out that you supposed to pop off, and they pop their head out the window like, nigga, you shut my shit off, nigga. By that time, nigga, I'm already running with the ladder, nigga. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand like this shit really gets people upset. And you know what it is? So having those engagements with people, and it's like you come in and they leading with anger, they leading with violence, they're already cussing me out sometimes, and it taught me so much patience. Not to say like I'm letting them disrespect me, but I'm understanding that when you're in front of people who have problems, sometimes you gotta nullify like what you feel you need to give to people's like anger or when they're upset. So it kind of taught me that they're not really angry at me. Even if they're upset, they're getting loud, whatever the case, they angry at me. They're angry at
displacement anger.
Else. Right. So
that's what that's called.
So being in front of that so often, it really taught me like, yo, just ignore people's shit a lot of the times, because it's not that their anger is not your anger. So, I can't have that transference onto me, especially when I'm in an environment where everybody's almost angry. So many angry people, and I'm not saying like everybody, but I'm seeing it more often now. So yeah,
bro, that brought up something for me, right?
Me too. Okay. When you done, go ahead.
So during, I don't know if y'all know, but I work in Brownsville, okay? And every day these people wake up, they choose violence, and I'm not saying.
Let the tribe know what Brownsville is.
Brownsville is in Brooklyn. Okay, it's in the heart of Brooklyn. It's the blackest neighborhood in Brooklyn. Bed-Stuy ain't even blacker than Brownsville.
Tyson from Brownsville.
And I need to let y'all know where the post office is. It's like across the street from all the PJs. It's like the biggest projects it is the biggest projects in Brooklyn. So a lot of these people, when they wake up, I don't know what it is about the projects, but they're angry. All right. And then during the pandemic, there was a lot of issues with deliveries. We used to have packages out of our ass in the building. Sometimes we couldn't find people's stuff. And people would be online. I shit you not. Line would be outside 2 hours. Then they finally get to the front of the line. We can't find a package. Here's the thing, right? I was going through a situation. In which I remember it was like, it was over a course of maybe 2 or 3 weeks where I was getting threatened at least 3 to 4 times a week. 3 to 4 times a week.
I believe it.
And I'm thinking, it's because of the line, and they mad because of this, that, and the third. I mean, women, men. This one dude was like, in the same instance where the dude was like, "I'll see you outside." That's when I was fed up by the shit. But there were multiple people. A female was like, "My nigga, I'll beat your ass. Come here right now." Right? And the crazy shit is, I'm like, yo, what? Why are people so angry? I'm usually the peacekeeper, but I realized I wasn't really at my best at that time. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I was going through some shit where the stock market was down, and I was just like in a bad mood. I didn't even want to work at this building anymore. They had put me at this building, and I had been in like this nice neighborhood, and I got into an argument. They moved me back to Brownsville. I wasn't in the best of moods. Right. So I realized that a lot of the anger that people had was a transference of my attitude onto them. You know what I'm saying?
Like sharing that energy.
Yeah. Like I'm and now it's because at the end of the day, even after all that shit, you online for 2 hours and you come to the front and we can't find your package. If you're nice about it, yo, I'm gonna do my best to find your package. Let me get your name. Let me get your number. When you give them that energy, they can't threaten you.
Yes.
They can't get mad at you. Crazy people can, but they can't. But when you up there like, yo, just leave your name and I'll get back to you whenever. Like, we're gonna get back to you as soon as we find it, right? Like, this is me, right? This is how I'm talking to them, and it's the same thing I'm saying it. It's the same thing I'm saying, but it's how I'm saying it. So I say that when I see a clerk, when I have a clerk on the window, and there's a lot of people who are threatening and yelling at them and calling them all kinds of names, I'm like, yo, sometimes you need to take a look and if it's continually happening. Sometimes you need to take a step back and look at yourself and see what you're doing. Maybe you got to see how you're answering them. How, like, you got to check yourself, because that energy transference, yo, that shit is real. You can take people off like this if you give them just a little bit of attitude, and that's what came up for me.
Got you.
So same thing for me too. I work in, a hospital where people are dying, and not everybody's okay with letting go and death. And they are angry at the closest person to them. And sometimes it's me, and I got to check myself and not say anything back. Like, I recently had a family member tell me, they were from Canada. They're like, we know the statistics here in the US. Y'all don't have no fathers. So, and it was his father that was actually dying. And this is not funny at all, but he was like, y'all ain't got no fucking fathers, so y'all don't know what it's like. I know the fucking statistics of the US. And I was like,
that's how they feel. That's wild.
I mean, he was just angry.
Wow.
He was just angry. And it was definitely displacement anger, but I found it kind of funny. Like, I went home chuckling, like, really, nigga? We don't got no fathers here in the US? Like, all of them.
How he was born.
To me because I'm black? You know
right.
I mean, that was gonna be my next question. Is he white? Was he white?
He wasn't. He was Middle Eastern, and he wasn't really he wasn't saying it specifically to me. He was upset at everybody else. He was very nice to me, but
who was he talking to?
He said it to me. He definitely said it to me.
So he's like, you little
black
girl,
you little black girl
with no father.
Yeah, from the US, y'all ain't got no fucking fathers. Y'all have deadbeat fathers. Y'all
exactly
black, and you're black. You ain't got no father.
So we know you ain't got no dad.
Well, I would have had to say something, but it wouldn't have been that smart remark. But I'd be like, I hear you.
What else I want? I didn't say anything to that because I don't want to match their energy, because that shit is real.
No, I wouldn't have matched his energy.
Match energy.
I wouldn't have matched his energy, but I'd have been like, I hear, while I understand you're upset and I get it, this is your father. Just like if it was my father, just to connect it so he knows, like, nigga, I got a fucking father too. I have a father. I don't give two shits either, but I would have said it. But me being me, I know me. I would have said it just to kind of dig, like, just as well if it was my father, like, kind of like, like,
that's so
nice mean. I know how you.
You know why stuff like that is so clutch. I think not only is it such a superpower to be able to know how to manage your anger, but you also got to know how to talk people while they're in that state.
Correct.
You got to know how to talk to people while they're in that state. Talk them through their anger, or at least like not let it, evolve by knowing how to talk to people. Because I was watching a video. I don't know if y'all remember, but like it was a dude who pulled a gun on Mike Tyson or whatever the case is. And, he was upset. The dude was, sitting there swinging the gun. And Mike Tyson's reaction to that was looking at this dude and realizing like he might be in like a wrathful moment. He's in a moment where he's either unstable or he might want to shoot somebody. And instead of getting angry himself, I think Mike Tyson, told the dude like, yo, come over here, man. Come give me a hug, because I don't think you really want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson was able to actually diffuse the situation. And this is Mike Tyson. He done knocked a few niggas out in like under 13 seconds and shit like that. And
his hand is a weapon.
And so Mike Tyson could have knocked this nigga out. You know what I'm saying? But he chose to, at least in that instance, to embrace him, give him a hug, and that diffused the situation, or at least like brought him down from the level that he was at.
Interesting. This is my last thing. I want to say this real quick. So I just want to be honest and say, like, when I'm missing my package, I am livid. Okay. Right now I'm missing a package and I am livid. I go in. Get me on the phone with your manager. I start, this is fucking unacceptable. You know what I mean? Like when I'm paying for a service, or what about the ticket maids, guys?
Oh, I hate them hoes.
Dumb motherfuckers.
I hate them
they
hoes.
know they gotta go quick.
Son,
write the ticket quick. They got the little thing that they buzz the car now, and they get all the information. Because I'll be wanting to go in on them motherfuckers,
especially when you just stopped for a minute and you was coming right
2
back.
seconds.
Yo,
let me tell you, the ticket yet. He's trying to do it so fast. I'm like, you see me right here. Like, come on.
Yo, TJ, this is what maybe some occupations are meant to test your anger. That is definitely an occupation where it's like,
it is.
Yo. You want to put hands on them.
100%.
And they expect you to be nice with them. Yo, but you know who really fucked me up? You know who I'm scared of? I get scared of those people who are nice, angry and shit. Yo, those nice, angry motherfuckers. Yo, there was this chick on my job. Yo, there was this chick on my job. She would get people so upset. And then she would say things like, well, I'm sorry that you can't understand. I'm sorry that you can't figure it out or some shit like that. But she'll say shit and she'll say it mad politely. But she was so fucked up about the shit she said. She would say so much
passive aggressive.
Shit.
That's what that is.
Yeah, passive aggressive shit.
Yeah, yo. And I'd be like, yo, you can't say that to people. But I was polite.
She's slick with it.
Real talk. She's slick with it. She was real good. I ain't gonna hold you.
Exactly.
So yo, I think that Mo, you said some really great stuff about being able to breathe. Like whenever you get upset, if you want to release that anger, breathing is clutch. I do the same thing. I think that taking 3 deep breaths will save you a lot of problems. Like if you feel in a moment of like intense anger, breathe. Take 3 deep breaths. I want to put that out to the tribe. Don't want you to miss over that jewel that the homie Lil Mo tried to share just now. So if you get tight, take a deep breath. I promise you it'll save your life.
Yeah.
All right. Move on to the next talking point. Next talking point I got for you is this should be the last one because we had an hour now.
We don't have no burner questions.
And we don't want this episode to be the interminable, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
What a reach, but it's okay.
That was good.
That was good. Okay. Yeah.
So wait, we didn't brainstorm any burner questions for this episode.
That's fine. We don't need it for every episode. It's cool.
I don't think so either, Mo. But you know, some people feel
we don't need it for every episode. It's a vibe. Go ahead. Let's move to our last section. All
right. So the last joint is the question is, how do you break up with an angry person without making them mad?
What?
Without making them mad?
Yeah. How do you break up with an angry person without making them mad? What's the best way to go about doing something like
Silent
that?
Treatment. Silent treatment.
Silent treatment.
Silent treatment gets you so deep in your soul because like they want to say shit to you and you're not even answering no phone calls, you're not answering the door, like you are just giving them the cold shoulder. That shit burns.
But isn't that the opposite of not making them mad? You trying to make them
even more mad. You make them even more mad.
That's your intentions.
I would say.
I don't want that energy over here.
On the next episode of TJ is Toxic. Go ahead.
No, it's that. Wait, so if they're already an angry person and I'm trying not to make them mad, I would have to. I'm thinking like I would really have to sit down with them and have a conversation. Like, okay, now we're both sitting. Keep my level tone. You know, I'm not on level 100 with my voice. Like, hey, so you know, this is not working out, and I don't want you to be upset. Like, we're still at a good place. Like, you know, we could, like just talking like that. Because if they're a person that's gonna reach a level 100, I have to meet them where they are. So I'm gonna have a conversation. My voice is gonna be even skill tone. Like just using those tools that I know to use because I'm dealing with someone who's gonna go off like they're an angry individual, and and then after a while, unbeknownst to them, it's like, damn, okay, well, okay, I hear you, because now they understand it. Like it's not because I'm not coming at you negatively in the conversation. I'm just sitting down with you, telling you like this is not working, but we could be. Listen, you're a great person, but just me and you is not on the same level, and that's it. That's how I would kind of think to do it.
Look, I know my black ass. I wanna kind of. I think it's hard to have conversations with people, especially like when they're in an angry moment, or someone's easily angered. And I've had, I don't want to say like full-fledged relationships, but I've had, women that I've had to break things off because either they was doing too much from an emotional level for me, even if it was from like places of anger. But I will say, like, you know, I've either sometimes wrote out a long message, or, you know, write them a letter of some sort, because the first thing I probably want to do is like convey like what I'm feeling and I'm going through, maybe without also like all the interruptions and the nuances that can, you know, lead y'all to start going on to like 3 different conversations and you can't even like resolve, you know, an issue. So I try to put it in writing, as far as like, these are my, you know, these are my things that I'm having a problem with in this relationship, and why I feel the need not to be able to see this as an interminable relationship. You know,
You can
like
press a
that.
button for yourself. You can press a
Does
button
that
for
work
yourself.
though?
There you go.
As an
Yes.
endless
Yes.
relationship? Say the whole sentence again, though. It may
TJ,
not
it's
work.
neither here
Look
nor
at
there.
trying to take your
TJ.
point back. Look at her trying to take your point back. Yeah.
She's trying to get you. She's trying to
No,
get you. Though.
she's trying to get a point off.
You could
It's
just say
fine.
the word, but it has to make
TJ, hush,
sense.
hush.
Yo.
Okay. But no, but I do feel like I said, that's part of my process. I want to be able to write you something, let you have that as a receipt of, you know, my feelings at the time of trying to, you know, move away from how this is harming me. So
I'm sorry, Flash, you're writing a dear
I
John
ain't trying to
letter, bro?
write shit.
You writing
I'm
a
not
dear
trying to
John
read
letter?
shit. Yeah, I ain't trying to read shit, nigga.
I mean,
Talk to me.
because
Talker.
you
I like to talk, so I don't
no,
want to
but
read.
no, but look, I still want to have the conversation though. I just want to let you know why we can't continue this shit. And then look, I'm still open to having the conversation. That's the good part. But I want you to have like written notes of like why this nigga is leaving you.
TJ gonna take your dear John letter and rip that shit up.
Fuck
Facts, I am.
Fuck your letter.
Yo, I've done some crazy
shit.
They call you a bitch. They call you a bitch to your
Facts.
face.
You have to do stuff like that to trigger them because nothing bothers them. You know what I mean?
You know what's wild?
Is
it funny because I had a chick tell me that she was like, "You wrote me a fucking letter, nigga." I was like, "Yo, what the fuck, man? Like, come on, like we could have talked."
Because at this point, like, have a conversation.
No, but I still want to have the conversation. But I called her after she got the letter too. To let her know, like, yo, I'm still down to talk to you though.
Yeah, okay.
I think the only way to break up with an angry person without making them mad is to like, you got to ease them into it. Like you can't just be like they had to see the painting on the wall. Like you can't just pop out with them on like one day, like, hey, look, this is over. I can't fuck with you no more. You can't do that. You got to drop hints like, yo, look, I'm not happy. You know, like, you know, I feel like we're not a good fit. You know, if you don't even like the same things I like, you know, you got to build up. But then one day you just hit it with the like, I don't think this is going to work.
Yeah.
And then you got to see how it goes from there. I think communication is the only way to get out that situation. Because I mean, the no shit is cool too. I feel like the note would be have to be.
Mash.
How is that passive aggressive?
Because you could have like that. You already are out of the relationship.
Obviously.
And that's a problem.
But that's what I'm saying. There had to be things that led to that. Like it couldn't just be like, I didn't say nothing this whole time. And then, you know what? Today's the day. It's a wrap for you. I'm out of here. Like, and you dealing with an angry person, you know that shit not gonna go.
No, imagine you live with her though, bro. And like,
nigga,
you gotta move your shit out. That's
one thing a week, bro. One thing a week.
That shit is mad hard. When I had to move out of my ex's house, I had to bring Palo Santo. Yeah, and I had to bring Monique with me
because she was so rageful.
If I didn't bring either Mo or my cousin, I would go to his house and he would come at me. It was him. It was him that would be all like just trying to trigger me with little things. And I had the car. I still have the Palo Santo and the sage in my car. In the car door, and I would light that shit every time I go in, so I would be unbothered to the bullshit that this motherfucker would do, and I would just like try to be at peace. Like, actually, that's what I do. I control myself by Palo Santo and sage.
Good, absolutely, absolutely.
Yo, so you know what? I heard Mo. You had said something earlier. Dang, yo, what was it you had said? Dang,
what I said.
I meant to say something about it early. Dang, you know, okay. You had said something about being prepared and keeping that monotone. Like I feel like that's important in these situations. You can't allow yourself to get aroused by them. You need to. I feel like if you know you're gonna go against someone who is an angry person, you really have to prepare yourself to have this conversation with them because you know what they're gonna do. You know how they're gonna get. So you need to have yourself in this like stoic type of There's still a type of demeanor about yourself when you're talking to her, because you need to tell yourself, listen, I'm not gonna let her fuck me up. I'm not gonna
You gotta be ready. Yes, you gotta be prepared. It's true.
I'm gonna talk to her. She's gonna say some fucked up shit. She's gonna tell me, she's gonna talk about my mother. She probably gonna say some crazy shit.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna let her fuck up my day. I'm not gonna let her in. So I'm just gonna tell her, I'm just gonna come down.
I'm gonna talk about your little dick. I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna talk about mad shit.
All that shit.
Fat, you know.
So you just gotta be prepared for the conversation with the person, and just tell yourself that you're not gonna allow them to take you outside of your character. And that's the only way I can see breaking up with an angry person.
But like that's a tip for life in general. Like, don't let nobody take you out of your character. And that shit is so clutch.
Absolutely.
Because they will take you there. Like, and most times what people motives are. Like, you're not having a good day, and I know you projecting.
Facts.
I'm not gonna let that work.
I laugh. I laugh when that shit happens. You know it's coming. You be like, I see what that nigga tried to do.
I do that too. I be like, okay. But sometimes, and sometimes it just takes me just to say one thing, and then the person just eases on the fuck down. I have situations. I'm just saying, even on the bus, on the bus too. Sometimes one lady tried to get crazy with me, and I let her have it. And after that, she was like, "Oh my God, you're still going?" I said, "You started it, now I'm gonna finish it." You see, you came on, you started it.
Still going.
Yeah, she was like, I said, "You started it, now I'm gonna finish it." See, we could have been on the bus enjoying life, but now you started it, so I'm gonna end it for you. Right
you know what be pissing me off, bro. This thing that I do, like I'm hard to bother. I'm hard to I'm an unbothered nigga.
Sounds stoic.
Okay, I'm unbothered. So when I'm dealing with women, not even breaking up, I'm talking about when a woman is upset about shit, and you just like
that you did.
So
that gave me even more angry.
And you just continue to do whatever. You go on your phone, you play your game, you read your book. I'm
gonna slap that shit out your fucking head.
Son, they get so angry, bro. They get so angry, son. That shit is real. Like, when I tell you, women get like upset when you be on some shit like, okay, whatever. Like, I hear what you're saying, but it's not bothering me. And then they start saying shit to make you upset, and that shit still don't make you upset. It's like, and then it starts with people them putting their hands on your shit or putting hands on you.
Oh, I'm gonna find a way. They gonna find a way every night.
She gonna find out what you love and take it from you. She gonna find out what you love the most, nigga. And she's gonna take
phone,
that.
Your PS4, whatever.
Your Bitcoin.
That nigga don't got no Bitcoin anymore anyway.
Look, she gonna get you with hers, nigga. Watch that shit, nigga. Because all that soul shit, nigga, is gonna end up to shit.
Word. That's what's gonna end up being.
Yeah, she gonna have to get more creative once she realize you don't give a fuck. Once she realize you don't give a fuck, a word? Oh, you don't give a fuck? Let me find something you give a fuck about.
Word.
Shit goes south.
That's how they think. You're right.
That's why.
Whatever. Yeah.
Look. That's the acronym for so. It's oh shit backwards. Like after you say so enough times, you're gonna be like, oh shit.
Right. The anger is gonna go away. That shit is interminable, bro. That shit is gonna stay.
All right, end the show because he's tied up with the
I know he got that shit in last minute.
That's the buzzer beater.
Buzzer beater. Yeah.
This has been another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet. We're gonna wrap it up here. This is our wrath episode. Again, if you want to be a perfect being, you got to get rid of those 7 deadly sins. This is one of them. And TJ, you want to give us your 30 seconds?
No, I think we should do the word of the week, right? No?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
You sure you don't want to ask another question? We good?
We good. We good.
Okay.
Take a look
at Yeah. So the word of the week, there's a tie.
Unfortunately.
So
tiebreaker.
Can we do the tiebreaker? So you both have to say sentences and we get to vote.
Okay.
Who got the tie? Who got the tie?
Shake and Flash.
Oh, okay. Sudden death.
Okay, this is what we
did get one. Mash, you said it once. I think you said it once.
Mash and myself.
Nah.
Yeah,
I've been letting y'all have the word of the week. Yeah. I just feel like I was going too hard.
Post it, Mash.
I forgot I was going too hard.
Post the results.
All right, I got you.
All right, so Shake, go. Your sentence first.
Oh my God! All right, go. Okay.
Telling himself to go.
Okay. All right.
You boo this nigga already?
Okay, I was.
You have 5 seconds.
Yeah, wow. She said shit about the clock.
You didn't say that in the beginning.
She said shit about the clock.
5 seconds. All right. 5
it was
seconds
implied.
now.
It was implied.
5 seconds now.
It was implied.
You got 5 seconds now.
Wow.
Okay, 5 seconds now.
4, 3.
So I was
2,
in the call. I was in the call with
1,
this angry chick.
0.
And I was on my way home, and she just started turning my music up and down. And I felt like, yo, this ride is interminable.
Okay. That was cute. That was cute.
Well, now we got Flash the philosopher. You know he good with the words.
So here's my sentence. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I was fucking my chick, right? And then she said, "Daddy, you about to come?" And I looked at her and I said, "No, bitch. This dick is interminable."
Nigga got the bomb.
All right, guys.
He dropped the bomb on his own.
All right,
shit.
Tribe, you get to decide right now. Who do you feel like you get it? Is it Shake? Is it Shake?
I can't give it to Flash. That's a repeat. I can't give it to Flash. That's a repeat.
Nobody heard it. Nobody heard it. The tribe never heard
I'm the judge.
I only said it 50 minutes ago. That's bullshit.
So the moderator's a judge?
I'm
Okay.
the judge.
I
gotta give it.
All right,
gotta give
fans,
it to
you vote. Tribe, you vote. All right.
Shit! Now we don't get.
No, they the voters. The voters right there.
They the voters.
Wait, Mash got me. Okay, so
I got shit.
Go ahead. It's 2 of y'all.
I think we need another one.
I think another tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Wow, y'all changing the rules. What's y'all vote?
Yo,
what the fuck? I don't understand. Like, what's y'all vote?
I don't want none of them. I mean, I felt like Flash won that, but you're right. He said it, already. You know what I'm saying?
This shit like URL, nigga.
The tribe didn't get to hear it.
Oh,
yo. So I was watching it. Wait, hold on. Let me give myself the room. Okay, so I was watching this football game, right? And they just kept on going into overtime after overtime after overtime. It felt like it's such a great game, and it was going to be interminable.
Okay.
That was cute.
Okay.
He thought that was good, but okay. All right, come with the heat, Flash.
Okay.
Go with the heat, because I thought it was going to be even more creative than that.
You already know. So your nigga Flash, okay, the nigga was at motherfucking Red Lobster, right? And I was just ordering them Cheddar Bay biscuits. And what you think I seen on the motherfucking wall the day I got to Red Lobster, right? So I looked at the bartender. I said, you know what? Let me get an order of them interminable shrimps, okay? All right.
Okay.
Endless shrimps. I get it.
Endless. Yes, I got it. No, I got it. Endless shrimps, because that is something that Red Lobster.
They do say that.
Over their heads. Over their heads.
Yeah.
High level bar.
Endless shrimps.
Yeah, I didn't get that. Yo,
I got that immediately.
What?
I got it immediately.
They don't say
Right.
play.
All right.
Leave it up to the tribe.
Take your vote.
Take your vote.
They was both trash to me, but that's an even tie. Y'all both take the awards. Y'all both can take the award for me.
Anyway, Duda, take us out, TJ, please.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Moderator, are you okay with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Tribe, thank you for listening to another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet. Check us out every Wednesday. We drop new episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon has podcasts, iHeartRadio. We drop new episodes every Wednesday. Follow us on IG. We're at So Ratchet Podcast, and we're on TikTok at So Ratchet Podcast. We're on YouTube at So Ratchet, and that's one word, and then podcast. Go ahead and hit the like button right now. Hit the follow button right now. Hit the subscribe button right now. Hit the notifications button right now. Go share us with a friend right now. And we love you.
We love you, tribe. Hey.
I hear that.
Peace.